Charles Reeves, St. Paul AME Church, and remain standing pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. Gracious God, our Father, we thank you, Lord. We praise you. We honor you, God, for this day that's like no day we've ever seen before, no day we'll ever see again, oh God. We ask, God, that you give us the strength and the wisdom to make the best of it, oh God. We ask now, God, that you be in this meeting, that you mend hearts, God, that you bend minds, God, that the spirit of unity be among this council, God, and do to them as you did to Solomon. Impart to them the wisdom and the knowledge to govern your people, God, that in the end, when we adjourn, that they have done all could for the betterment of the city of Mobile and the people of Mobile. So in the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. President Manzi.
Here.
Vice President Small.
Here.
Councilmember Richardson. Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Councilmember Gregory. Here. Statement of rules.
Good morning. We're glad to see each and every one of you. The rules of the council, of this particular council meeting, are as follows. We first would ask that you would turn off or silence any and all electronic devices upon entering the council meeting. Any person desiring to address the council must first sign in indicating the resolution, ordinance, appeal, or public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, we ask that the speaker, each speaker would clearly state for the record both your name and your address. Any person desiring to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must first contact the city clerk's office on the Thursday preceding the Tuesday in which you'd like to speak by 2 p.m. All commentary must be pertinent to City of Mobile business. Any person who hadn't been given the proper notice will not be allowed to address the council. Each speaker is granted 5 minutes. A bell will sound to indicate the end of 4 minutes. 1 minute will remain for summarizing. The second bell indicates that all of your time has expired. When addressing the council, we ask that there be no public address and no direct commentary to any individual council member. All statements ought to be made to myself who serves chair, and I will recognize any council member who wishes to respond. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause and or public cry allowed. Those are the rules of this council meeting, and we're certainly appreciative of your interest in your municipal government.
Approval of minutes of the meeting of January 7th.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? Great job as always. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from the mayor.
Good morning.
Good
It's
morning.
good to see everybody here this morning. We have a special guest up in the audience, students from Wright. We're delighted that they're here. They have a 2-week, we call it a semester, and so they're studying government while in that 2-week period. We have a couple of awards we'd like, and presentations we'd like to make first this morning. I would ask Lynn Jackson to please come down and stand with me at the podium. You know, if you drive around the city of Mobile, we, as city councilors and the mayor, you can't help but notice the litter in places. And you know that every day that we do have people out picking up litter, and that you will see that, you know, it's litter back there the same day. Now, this proclamation is because of something that's been observed over the last few years, and so I'll just read it, and that'll be self-explanatory. Whereas Ms. Lynn Jackson has worked for the city since May 21st, 2011, serving in the 311 department as a communications center specialist, and whereas Lynn can be found almost every workday during her lunch hour picking up litter on the sidewalk near her office, and whereas Lynn's daily cleanup aligns perfectly with the city's goals to reduce litter and make our downtown as inviting as possible, And whereas her desire above and beyond is a distinguishing characteristic that renders a great benefit to all Mobilians on a daily basis, now therefore I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby officially thank Ms. Lynn Jackson and present her this Award of Excellence in recognition of her continuing contributions to the City of Mobile. Then, on behalf of the City Council, the citizens, all the downtown merchants, I present you with this Award of Excellence. Thank you very much. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just my privilege to serve the city, and I love Mobile. Thank you.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Thank you.
Wow.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir?
just make a comment. I would like to commend Ms. Jackson. The city has made progress over the last 5 or 6 years, but as the mayor points out, you go out there and pick up litter, and the next day the litter's back where you were out there picking it up. And it's going to take a concerted effort on the part of municipal government and all of our citizens to attack this problem. I've got some ideas on it, but ultimately, it takes people like you, people who are willing to go out there and pick it up, neighborhoods getting organized, picking up litter, and showing by their example what can be done to address this problem. I commend you. Thank you for your work.
Absolutely.
Okay, this time I'd ask Chief Batiste to come forward and make the next award, and then I'll follow up with my remarks. Chief.
To the mayor, to our president of city council and our esteemed council, it gives me great pleasure to stand before you this morning to recognize the accomplishment of, in particular, the command staff of the Mobile Police Department. Great things happen because of the great leadership, and the men and women that sit behind me really help me do the job that I need to do each and every day in serving the citizens of the city of Mobile. One of my commitments appointed chief of police was to work to try to improve the level of executive level training that we receive within our department. Over the last 2.5 years, we've had several individuals accomplish that task. Assistant Chief Godwin went to the FBI National Academy and graduated. Major Linda Timms went to SPI, which is Southern Police Institute training, and she's graduated. And we have currently 2 individuals in the pipeline for coming executive level training in Captain Garrett, who's scheduled to go to the FBI National Academy in April, and we will be sending another individual to the Southern Police Institute. But on this occasion, I'd like to recognize the accomplishment of Captain William H. Reed, Jr. He most recently graduated from SPI in Louisville. They sent me this letter that reads, "The recognition of academic excellence is an integral part of the administrative officers course. The University of Louisville defines several types of accomplishments as worthy of distinction. One such award of excellence is that of Dean's Scholar, a recognition awarded to students who earned a letter grade of A in each of their courses. Only a small percentage of our students achieves this status. We are pleased to inform you that Captain William H. Reed, Jr. has been designated as a Dean's Scholar. We congratulate you and Captain Reed for his outstanding performance as a member of the 142nd Administrative Officers Course. It is our request that you present this letter and certificate to Captain Reed and make it a part of his personnel record." So with that being said, Captain Reed.
All right.
So, Matt, let's do this. You stay right there. Chief, you get on that step. Now we
Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir.
you.
Thank you. And congratulations, Captain Reed. Appreciate all you do. All that all of you do.
Okay, so toward the end of the week, last week, we all got some great news about Airbus. They're continuing expansion, additional $40 million expansion, going to rate 7, officially going to rate 7, and 275 new jobs by 2021. It goes without saying, we're tremendously grateful for our relationship with Airbus. We are the opinion, and what we hear is that we can expect more in the future. And so things that we're doing in the administration, I think in the city council too, is to make sure we send the correct message to Airbus is that we certainly appreciate the partnership. So very, very fortunate for that. We also saw recently that Airbus has been recognized as the #1 or the largest airplane producer in the world, which is a big kudo for them. Later today at 1:30, Councilman Manzi and I will be joining a press conference out at Josephine Allen Housing Development Project. That has been vacant since 2011. It's finally getting ready to be torn down. I would remind the City Council that a year ago, I think it was a year ago December, you agreed, we created the intergovernmental agreement with the Housing Authority in the city. Because of that agreement, we were able to take CDBG dollars and fund the demolition of this project, which is a huge deal because if you look at the dollars that the Housing Authority has, they're going to spend those dollars on trying to fix the residents, the apartments or the units of those that are being occupied. So had you not approved that agreement and had not the staff come up with a way to tear this down, Josephine Allen, no telling how long it would still be continued to stand there. And as we all know, it desperately needs to be torn to the ground. Great opportunity for all of us. The people in Africatown will be very excited about it. On another note, as we started taking down the Christmas tree, we started getting a few messages on social media and a phone call about, Mayor, maybe you need to leave that up and make it into a Mardi Gras tree. And of course, Mardi Gras trees have just been around for a few years, but I can honestly say that nobody on staff, and I doubt any city council has decided that we should have a Mardi Gras tree. But being social media, being what it was, and we teased it out there a little bit about it, and so we have a whole lot of citizens now interested in it being a Mardi Gras tree. So you will see the transformation, and so you'll be able to say that Mobile proudly has the largest Mardi Gras tree probably in the United States. So we're grateful to have that opportunity. We're going to have an Easter tree. Oh, and I'd also like to say that last week we had Ms. Velma Jackson make a comment about praying for the city of Mobile, and she was in the foyer at 12 o'clock last Wednesday. She and I joined together along with one other individual, and we prayed for the city, and she will be there tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Encouragement is that anybody that would like to pray for the city are welcome to join her because this is what she's called to do. So thank you, Ms. Jackson.
That's great. Great news all around. And thank you, Ms. Jackson. I wasn't able to make it Wednesday at 12, but I did observe a prayer. Let's give all of our command staff a big round as they leave out. Thank all of you for all that you do to keep the city and our surrounding areas safe. All right. Madam City Clerk.
Adoption of the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Probably moved to second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Bills, we have requests for a waiver of the noise ordinance on February 9th at 1131 Dolphin Island Parkway, February 15th at 911 Dolphin Street, February 23rd at 911 Dolphin Street, February 8th at 564 Dolphin Street, February 23rd and February 25th at 254 St. Anthony Street.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Public hearings. Today is a public hearing to fix the cost for demolition or securing structures. Also, for declaring structures public nuisances and ordering them demolished or secured or demolished at 2071 Clinton Street, 2073 Clinton Street, 414 Chin Street, 414 and a half Chin Street, 859 Chin Street, 3917 Dolphin Island Parkway, 1330 Stewart Road, 5641 House Ferry Road, 6 South Franklin Street, 407 Dolphin Street, 1360 St. Stephen's Road, 1712 Dog River Drive East, 2714 Collins Street, 2708 Boston Road, 6254 Sarasota Drive, and 5500 Racine Avenue.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to offer any commentary for the addresses called by our city clerk? This is a public hearing. Yes, ma'am. Can we get a microphone?
The microphone.
We're going to get you a microphone. I believe we have a microphone we can get you. 1 second.
She can walk on down.
I believe Ms. Farrell is getting it. No, I wouldn't change these stairs.
Yes, I received a letter,
If you could give us your name and address, please.
Blondina Stewart, 705 Orchard. And I'm the, one of the heirs of 414 Chin Street. I am the oldest sibling. And they decreased the property value, and this property value is worth way more than $2,000.
No, I don't
I'm
think,
in Africa Town, and this is what y'all sent me saying, if I disagree, and I strongly disagree.
I don't think they're suggesting that the property value is $2,000. I think what is being stated here is the cost for the demolition of the structure was $2,200.
No, we tore that, my brothers tore that property down.
Mr. Doffenbach, Mr. David Doffenbach, standing there, is over this division. Any commentary you can offer? If a brothers tore the property down, and
Yes, at this location, there's one parcel but two addresses, two separate structures, and one of the structures was partially demolished. However, the foundation and the debris still remained, which is what the city finished the demolition and removed the debris. The other structure was completely demolished, and we can see that at 414 and a half Chin Street was where the partial demolition and the trash was removed, and you can see that it's an $800 fixed cost resolution, whereas at 414 Chin Street was a complete demolition of $2,200, which that structure was partially burned.
The same owners?
Yes, same owners, one parcel, two structures with two separate addresses.
is Ms. Stewart correct?
Yes, I am.
Did you hear what Mr. Doffenbach said?
Yes, but my brothers and my sisters one of my sisters told me that they had went over there and tore it down. I went and looked, and the property was torn down, and they had started pulling the stuff out to the street to be hauled off by the city.
again, I don't think we're in a disagreement. I think that there was a partial demolition, and the foundation and the debris still remained. And that is where the city went forward and completed the process, in addition to the complete demolition of the additional structure on the same property.
Okay. Did you hear all that Mr. Doffenbach said, Ms. Stewart? They did
Yeah,
a partial
and-
demolition, and the $800 charge is for where the city went in and got rid of the debris and also took up the foundation. So I'm assuming there's a part.
Well, my sister says she paid somebody to come over there and bulldoze it all down. Because I was on them, because I paid the property taxes.
Ms. Stewart, is your sister's not today, is she?
No, I didn't know I would have to have, I thought I was just coming to dispute what the value of the property was.
Yes, ma'am. Well, if you have any concerns, at this point, the city's done its part, and they are asking us to fix these costs. We're going to move forward with that. And if you have any concerns relative to the property value or any other questions about the communication you received, Mr. Doffenbach is right here. He's over this division, and he'll be able to help you.
All right,
He said he'll come and speak with you in just a second.
all right,
Thank you.
all right.
Yes, sir. Would you like to speak during any of these public hearings?
This is on 407 Dolphin Street, which is on your list.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Can we get your name and address, please?
Hoffman, 2 South Franklin Street also.
I heard Hoffman.
Hoffman, yes.
What's your first name, sir?
Ronald Hoffman.
Ronald Hoffman. Yes, sir.
What's on your list, I didn't know whether I was supposed to come down and talk about it now or wait for you to call it individually.
Well, you're welcome to. This would be the appropriate time to talk about it. Yes, sir.
Well, here I'm present then. You have notified me that you wanted to tear it down or fix it or have me fix it, and I'm here to tell you that I was going to fix it. I've been looking into grants for both of those buildings to work on that. I talked to the people with the forms, and I have not gotten a contractor, but I've been talking to people trying to get all the information together in order to get into it. The grant is not available until this year. I talked to them in very late December. Meanwhile, I've been sick, and I haven't been able to get everything done all at one time. They only gave me 45 days to do a multitude of work, and it's almost impossible to get even a contractor to show up in 45 days.
Yes, sir.
That's on
Well,
both
we
sides.
discussed both structures in our pre-council meeting.
407.
Yes, sir,
Dolphin
and then
Street.
6 South Franklin.
Beg your pardon?
I'm just saying, we discussed both of the structures that you own at length in our pre-council meeting. And what we'll do today is move that the properties be secured. We're not going to be moving that they be, taking action them to be demoed, and we're happy to hear, I'm happy to hear, number one, and that you indicate some interest in saving the buildings, and I'm certain that Mr. Doffenbach and the city will work with you in order to work toward that effort.
Well, there are 2 buildings. There's 2 South Franklin and 407 Dolphin Street.
Yes, sir.
Both of them. I tried to put a fence to keep the vagrants out of those buildings, and I can't. They would never give me a permit to fence it off, and so I'm battling them and the graffiti people and everything else.
Yes, sir.
The 407 Dolphin Street has been a hole has been torn through the bricks in it, and they were living in it and doing whatever they wanted to do in it. I kept chasing them out. I couldn't get them out. Called the police, but I just can't keep them out of there. So I mean, I need to fix it back, and it takes quite a bit of money to do that. So hopefully this grant will take care of that for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.
Am I excusing?
Yes, sir, you certainly are.
Thank you.
But you're welcome to stay as well.
All right.
All right. Yes, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak during these public hearings? If not, the public hearings are closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Derek Boulware.
Thank you, Council President, council members.
Good morning.
My name is Derek Boulware. I'm the CEO of Housing Inc. Here in Mobile and serving Mobile and Baldwin County. What I wanted to tell you about is the upcoming point-in-time count. I know you may be familiar with this. It's been going on for years, but Housing First is the lead applicant for housing and urban development funds coming into Mobile, and Baldwin County is tasked each year with conducting the point-in-time count. And this is where we partner with other agencies in Mobile and Baldwin County, along with our volunteers, to go out and literally count the number of homeless and interview those individuals here in Mobile. That information is then compiled, and that data is then sent to DC, and Housing and Urban Development uses that information should ever consider a budget change and in directing resources back into Mobile to house and serve the homeless community. So I wanted to say it's on the 28th of this month. I want to thank Mayor Stimpson and his staff. They've agreed to take part in point in time, and thank you for your opening statement on the 28th. But it's an important event. If there are individuals in Mobile that would like to participate in this and play a role, I'd ask for them to go to our website. That's Housing First. That's HFAL.org. You can volunteer, give some information. We'll team you up with one of our staff members and go out and take care of the task. That same week is what is the annual Project Homeless Connect. This is the 7th year that we've done this out at the grounds. And so it's an opportunity for different agencies to provide free of cost services to the homeless community. A lot of individuals we would have contacted on the Tuesday, the 28th. And so some of the agencies that are going to be out there will have state-issued IDs for homeless individuals. Both the County of Mobile and municipal courts will hold court. About 30 lawyers and legal staff that participated last year, we're expecting to be back out there again this year to help these individuals clear up some minor criminal or civil charges they may have. And then also USA and Franklin Health will be there to provide health and wellness for these individuals. And there will be other opportunities. If you're a veteran, we'll have the VA out there. But there's about 58 to 60 agencies that are providing free of charge their services all day long. So it'll be from 8 till 2 out at the grounds. And so it's a great opportunity. And I've mentioned this in some previous interviews this week. This is really just the start. So if we're about helping this community, then get off the street, better themselves, this is where we begin. And so it's a community effort. I can't thank enough the mayor's administration, the Mobile PD for their support of this. So that's basically it. Any questions about either of these two events or Housing First?
Mr. Davis?
Mr. Boulware, thank you for being here today. My question really is to get your input on urban myth I've often heard, which is that cities along I-10 have a disproportionate share of homeless people because I-10 is the southernmost east-west interstate, and homeless folks travel along that route going back. Is there any true to that?
I can't confirm that, Mr. Davis. I know if that is accurate or if that's true. I know we do have a transient homeless population that comes through and they'll move. We also have our resident homeless as well. But I don't know if I-10 is particularly a thoroughfare for the homeless. I haven't heard that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have not necessarily a question, if I may. Thank you. This volunteer flyer. If you can get this to our council office, we can place this in our newsletter to see whether people are interested in going to your website and then helping participate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure will.
All
Sure will.
right.
Appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
If there are no other questions, I want to thank Councilman Williams. Had an opportunity to meet with him one-on-one a week ago, and again, appreciate the relationship that Housing First has with the city of Mobile. I wish Chief Batiste was still here. I'd tell him to his face. Again, I think that's a message that often gets missed, is the relationship with police departments, law enforcement, and agencies like Housing First and what we do. We really do work together as a team. And they refer many individuals over to us and other agencies. So I think that's a story that often doesn't get told adequately enough. So again, thank you for this relationship, and I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Elizabeth Stevens regarding the resolution on Barton Academy.
Just wanted to, in light of the fabulous item that you have on your agenda today, to give you a little bit of an update. At 2 o'clock, we open bids for the construction of the building. Our goal is to have the commission, the board commission, approve the contractor. By the end of this month, we'll go to closing on all of the financing at the end of this month and start construction this quarter. Finish construction the last quarter of 2020. Then the school board will be in charge of the FF&E for the next 6 months, with being ready to have students walk in August of 2021. So, over 600 individuals, nonprofits, foundations, corporations, governmental entities have contributed nearly just less than 200,000 shy with your vote of a $5 million cash goal. The other part is come through the syndication of new markets and federal and state historic tax credits. So it's an incredibly complicated deal. We're doing 2 conference calls a week now with about 50 people on them from all over the country that are working to put this whole project together. And what you're doing today is it's tremendous. It makes it a firm reality. And I thank you. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
All your leadership on this very important issue.
Been working with you a long time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It has been a long time coming, about 8 years probably.
And if you hadn't got money to do the exterior, I don't think it'd be yours.
I certainly agree with you. Thank you.
When you're palm out your back.
That's right. Madam City Clerk.
Ordinance is held over. 64001, rezone property located at 4242 Halls Mill Road and 4180 Alden Drive from B3 and I-1 to I-1.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
CIP resolutions held over. 08009, approved purchase order for field lighting for Kidd Park.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? This is a banner day for the Africatown community. For 6 years, I've heard about 2 items, one on one side, one on the other. In the plateau area, specifically with the churches, was lighting at Kidd Park, and how the parents were having to cut on their headlights in order for the kids who participate in the various sporting activities to practice there at Kidd Park. And to finally see this agenda item, this is a banner day for the Africatown community. And then at 1:30, for us to be able to announce that we're finally in a position to demo the horrendous buildings left of the Josephine Allen housing development. It's just a great day, and I'm appreciative of all of the hard work of staff. This shows that the council's boldness in creating the CIP program was well envisioned because of actions we're able to take of this nature. And I'm appreciative of the administration partnering with us to get these ideas and initiatives off the ground. This is a great day for citizens in that community. Any further discussion? Not all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Resolutions held over. 4656, declare the structure at 561 Plum Street a public nuisance and order it demolished.
Move to table.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
08010, approved purchase order for 50 drive cam recorders plus annual subscription. 21011, authorized contract with Gorham Air Conditioning for rooftop HVAC replacement at the Virginia Dillard Smith Library. 25012, granted an easement to Alabama Power Company needed for providing underground service to Mere Park. 35013, authorized a lease agreement with the Retirement Systems of Alabama for property in the RSA Battle House Building parking deck for the MPD Central Precinct.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. Vice President?
Yes, on Resolution 25-012, grant an easement to Alabama Power. This easement is for the NFL Challenge Course, the only one that's in our area, which is currently is being put at Tremere Park. Last week, we had the council had opportunity to vote on some stuff to amenities to go at Tremere Park. So this is all working together. Tremere Park has been neglected for many years, long overdue, and there's going to be some great things for Tremere Park for this upcoming year. Thank you, Mr. President.
No problem at all. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Mr.
I'd
Richardson.
just like to say that I'm appreciative that the initiative is being taken to replace the rooftop HVAC system at the Virginia Dillard Smith Tobinville Library. It's the time to do it. It's not that hot out there, and this is a great time to do it. But this is probably the third highest used library in the system. We have the main library downtown and the regional library, and the Virginia Dillard Smith Tobinville Library is going to come in number 3. It's how you can go by that now, and you see it a lot. The lot is footage, how they use, and I'm just happy to know that we're going to get this done in time.
Yes, Mr. Richardson, and I want to thank the leadership of the Retirement Systems of Alabama. I want to thank our Public Safety Director and our Police Chief as we continue to grow residential density in downtown. It's important that we have a fully functioning police precinct, and the way that the RSA Battle House, the leadership of RSA has worked with the city in order to make certain that this project could come into fruition is appreciated not only by me as the councilperson of this area, but by the citizens that this department and this precinct will service. This is a great idea. You've really worked with us relative to the leasing of the space and the amount of money that the city will have to expend, and it's just a continuation of a great partnership between the RSA retirement system and the city of Mobile. And this partnership, I hope, will only continue to flourish. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Items passed.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 03017 through 20041.
Motion to suspend the rule for immediate consideration for consent resolution 03-017 through 21-041.
Second.
With the exception of 37021.
Okay.
Yes.
Colleagues, as we're reviewing this, and this may already be in the making, but I was informed by Mr. DeLapp that the agenda item 20041, maybe this is already in the making. It's already under consent.
Yes, it's under consent.
Okay, well, never mind. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
And I'll second that motion.
So to be clear, there's two that we're hoping to get passed, voted on today, which is the one you mentioned, and then also the one on the Park and Rec, which is...
Right, the 20,000.
Yeah, so there should be two total in that list.
Do you have that, Madam City Clerk?
Where are we, which numbers?
Why are we finding out?
We have-
Finding out here.
We have 21041 is on there under
21.
consent, so is there another one?
Is there another one, Mr. Delap?
You mentioned 37021, correct?
Alabama Recs hold their annual conference.
37021, and then I have an old version, I guess, because mine says 21042, which is the Parks and Rec Association Foundation.
37021 is a liquor license.
Right.
And that one's
It's on here.
gonna,
Yeah.
yeah, but we're accepting that out, so it'll carry it over.
Right.
Right. And then...
The item you're concerned about is the $20,000 for the...
Correct.
Yeah, that we'll
And
take
it's
that
under
out
that.
Today,
Yeah.
if
It's
at all
on
possible.
It's
Thank
on
you.
there.
Thank you.
Okay. I have an older version probably as well, Madam City Clerk. Pardon me. We can move
We
forward.
need to vote on taking them up today.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We're just voting on waiving the rule.
Right.
Right.
Ready now.
Okay. 03017, appoint Herman Thomas and Gary Grant to the Blue... Hart, oh my gosh. Hart to the Blue Ribbon Affordable Housing and Neighborhood Revitalization Commission of the City of Mobile. 31018, 19, and 020 are authorizing grant applications to the U.S. Department of Justice for improving criminal justice responses to domestic violence, dating violence, sexual stalking grant program, and for families, Justice for Families program solicitation, and for transitional housing assistance for victims of domestic violence. 37022, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine on-off premises license for Blaze at DeRue Drive. 37023, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge liquor retail Class 1 license for the Ice Box on Monroe Street. 40024, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 37, 38, and 39 are declaring dead structures, public nuisances, fixing the cost demolition of structures, and for securing or demolishing structures that are public nuisances. 58040, declare weeds noxious, Weedling Group 1603. 21041, authorized performance contract with the Alabama Recreation and Parks Association Foundation to hold their annual conference in Mobile.
So move.
Second.
Probably moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davis?
We had discussion in pre-council on 40032 and 40033 about changing the language in that to make it clear that we were not ordering it demolished, that we were ordering them to take steps to secure it. Has that been done?
Yes, we revised the resolution to remove word demolish. So the resolution now reads to secure the buildings.
Okay.
There wasn't enough time to insert the work plan but I think that'll be sufficient.
And Madam Clerk, you did not read out, I'm asking, you didn't read out 40036, right?
I did
Because we're going
not.
to table that. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Any further discussion?
Do we have a motion and second
Yes.
on the, after reading them all?
I did.
I know you read them all, but then,
We had a motion second, Mr.
Okay,
Small
yes.
and Ms. Gregory.
okay, all right.
Any further discussion?
I would
Yes,
like
sir.
to,
Mr.
concerning the same properties, if you will, Mr. Chair, I think that it was at least my hope that somehow we restricted what could be done to those buildings for at least a certain period of time, reasonable period of time. Now, we ordered it secured. Did we limit what the city could grant as far as permits for demolition?
Madam Council Attorney?
The property should go before the Architectural Review Board before any demolition permit issues. I don't know if the administration agrees with that, but in my view, that should happen. The resolution finding the nuisance only authorizes securing the building, and that should be broad enough to protect them, but not demolish them.
Okay,
So.
all right, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Mr. President, wanted to be noted that Councilmember Gregory and myself did make our appointment to the Blue River Affordable Housing Commission. And the sooner we get all the appointments, the sooner we can get this going. I am anxious for us to get this committee working. Just want you to know we have made our appointment.
I think it's duly noted,
have
Mr.
two.
Richardson.
You have that too.
And I should hopefully have mine in relatively quickly. It's not a choice I wanted to make in haste. I wanted to have 4 or 5 people who are very interested in the ability to work, and I only have the one appointment, but I look forward. I hope all of us will have our appointments in very soon. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Resolution 40036, declare the structure at 2714 Collins Street South a public nuisance and order it demolished.
Move to table.
Second.
Property motion second, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
CIP resolutions being introduced 21042 through 21045.
Motion to suspend the rule for immediate consideration for CIP resolution 21-042 through 21-044, 21-0-045 will be laid over for 1 week by council rules.
Second.
Property motion second, any discussion? Another great project in our district was Little Flower Avenue, beginning the engineering for complete rebuild of that section. I look forward to this continued progress. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
21042, authorized contract amendment closeout with Terracon Consultants for geotechnical engineering and material testing services for Florida Street and Dome Street area, $11,625. 21043, authorized contract with Burt Kleinpeter for Little Flower Avenue roadway repairs, Government Street to Airport Boulevard, $28,750. 21044, authorized contract with S&O Enterprises for Copeland Cox Tennis Center security cameras, $39,286.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Resolutions being introduced for the first time, 01046 through 01051.
These resolutions will be laid over for 1 week by council rules.
Second.
Call for public hearings. Call for public hearing, 41052. Call for public hearing to rezone, public hearing to consider the vacation/closing of a portion of South Richardson Drive near its intersection with Fornell Lane in Rosswood subdivision, scheduled February 11th. 41053, call for public hearing to rezone property located at 2989 Dolphin Street, south side of Dolphin Street, 200 feet east of Sage Avenue, from B2 to LB2, scheduled February 11th. 41054, call for public hearing to rezone property located at 2955 Dolphin Street, southeast corner of Dolphin Street and Sage Avenue, from B2 and LB2 to LB2, scheduled February 11th.
So move.
Second.
Properly moved and second, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Public hearings are called.
Announcements.
Mr. Williams.
I have none, thank you.
Ms. Rich.
Rich? Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to announce today's meeting of the Ad Hoc Committee on Rolling Back the PJ. That will be at 2 o'clock in our council conference room. All council people, of course, I hope you'll be in attendance to listen to that input, both pro and con. Again, that's at 2 o'clock this afternoon floor. Next week on the 21st, this is not an ad hoc committee, this is the Public Services Committee. We'll meet at 2 o'clock, go over the draft towing ordinance. I know it's been a long time coming. We have gotten it out to the media, hopefully, and also to all interested industry people. But contact the city and we'll make sure you get the link to it or a copy if you need it. Again, that meeting will be at 2 o'clock next week, the 21st, in the conference room as well with the Public Services Committee. I'd like to remind people of the District 6 community meeting this Thursday at 6:30 at the Connie Hudson Senior Center. That's 3201 Hillcrest Road. The topic is public safety, which is very pertinent with citizens, and so I hope that they'll come equipped with their questions. Our guest speakers are Chief Batiste and Public Safety Director James Barber. Again, that's 6:30 this Thursday at the Connie Hudson Senior Center. Thank you.
Mr. Richardson?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Currently, utility companies are actively cutting into our streets to install new equipment. They're updating their systems, and they're leaving behind a series of patches. It's more than one. Spire has gone down Costa Rica Street, Andrews, Edwards, Hedgecock, Clement, Heveston, and others. So I contacted the powers that be at Spire to say that you all are going to have to come back and resurface these streets. Happy to say they came back, and today they would finish up on all of the streets that I just read. When you drive over those patches, it boom, 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 boom. And we have a law that states that if those patches are in a series, if they're close enough together, they got to come back and patch over and resurface over all of those patches. And I'm saying to council members, if you don't say anything, they're not going to do anything. Not going to automatically come back. You have to raise your voice. And the same thing happened on Donald Street, where Mars came down Donald and patch. And I made a claim on that one. They have come back and resurfaced Donald Street. Cecilia Street needs it. They've been cut it to death, and I'm waiting on them to come back and resurface Cecilia Street. But our city, especially in the inner city, where they do all of these changes, if you don't speak up, you're going to have to be spending money to resurface streets because your citizens are going to complain that they're tired of going over these bumpy streets. And the bumpy streets was caused by a utility company. I'm not taking it. So I'm happy that I'm giving Spire an 8. They came back and they have surfaced over all of these streets that I put on the list. They have come back to resurface it. CIP Resolution 21042 states that the work has been completed at Florida Dome. This is a drainage project that's been going on for about 2 years. We almost lost some of our business over there because we closed the street up for a long period of time, and people could go up and down a small street from Dolphin to O'Shell on Water Street. It started out being a $900,000 9-month project. and it ended up about $2 million, what we got into this project. It's a great project. If you go down and look at Florida Street, it's transition. But it took a lot of work and a long time to get this done. We have it done. I would like to commend Director DeLapp for your effort. When he came on, it was at a standstill. No contractors out there, no workers out there. They had some equipment parked out there. They were not moving. So he got the wind of that, went out there and met with the contractors, gave them an ultimatum that you will have this project completed by this date. And they went to work and they completed the project. Yes, they probably would still be dragging on and probably would have lost a lot of businesses over there unnecessarily. I would be reluctant to vote on. I'll just say I got the contractor's name down, and that's all I'm saying about that. But eventually, we had a grand reopening of that street. The businesses came out and they just shouted hallelujah over the fact that they were able to move back in to their businesses, and their customers could come up and down that street at will, and that the street is transformative. It's a beautiful section of our city today, and I'm proud that that is done. That's all I want to say, Mr. President.
Mr. Davis? No applicants. Mr. Vice President?
Thank you, Mr. President. Our Lady of Lords, Knights of Columbus, and the Parkway Senior Citizen Foundation will be sponsoring its 11th annual spaghetti dinner and salad option. This is the opportunity for a great fundraiser for the benefit of the Parkway Senior Center. This event would take place on Saturday, January 2020, from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Our Lady of Lords Parish Hall. The menu is spaghetti, salad, bread, dessert, and tea. The price is $7, and advance tickets can be purchased at the Senior Center on DIP. Again, this event would take place on Saturday, January 25th, 2020, from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Our Lady of Lords Catholic Church. And again, this is to benefit the Parkway Senior Center mission for the outreach of the seniors. Also on Monday, on January the 27th, I will be holding a Oakdale community meeting in reference of home improvement opportunities for the Oakdale community. On next week, I will announce the time and the place, but the date will be on Monday, January 27th. Thank you, Mr. Mr. President.
Ms. Gregory?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of things. Ziegler Boulevard widening project is actually underway. We're very excited that this long-awaited project is started. It begins from Schillinger Road toward Cody. It ends right about where the fairgrounds is, because at that point from the fairgrounds down to Cody, it actually is a four-lane there now. So it'll be in two phases, beginning at Schillinger. We already have signs up. This spring to summer, somewhere in that timeline, we should see the beginning of the second phase of work, which goes from Forest Hill down to Athey Road. We have put this on newsletter. I put it on Facebook, and letters are being done and will be mailed out soon to all the residents who live off Ziegler Boulevard to alert them to the work and the fact that you'll probably be seeing some traffic tie-ups along the way. As construction gets nearer on the longest phase, which is the Forest Hill leg, I'll have a community meeting to go over all of the details and allow people to ask as many questions as they need. We've already had many meetings addressing Ziegler along the way, but still people don't know about it. And when they do see the signs or happen to see my newsletter, a lot of questions come up. So we want to make sure to get the word out to as many people as possible about what to expect, what it will look like, and give them at least an estimate on the timeline for how long it will take to get all this accomplished. The other part is there is mulch from Christmas trees out at Langen Park, and Mr. DeLapp, since you were here, do you know when and if we'll be able to give that mulch away, how that's going to work? Because they've got a pile of mulch, and then we still have some Christmas trees out at Langen. And
I don't have the date. I'll find out the date and pass it on so you can get it out to your constituents.
yeah, because that's always a very popular item for spring planting. People want the mulch. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Gregory. It's an exciting time in the city. It's an exciting time in the district. A lot of great projects that are culminating. A lot of them are just starting, and a lot of great things that will happen in this particular year. Look forward to the press event at 1:30, and then we'll be announcing some others relative to the opening of the new park facility at Harmon, the new recreational amenities at Rickaby Park, and then also the new basketball facility on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. There's just a lot that we're bringing to a close. Several that we're getting kicked off, including nearly $500,000 worth of renovations at Lions Park, the new park facility there at the Triangle, at Congress and St. Stephen's. Just a lot of exciting things happening across District 2 and across the city. We'll also be announcing our series of community meetings. Hopefully we'll have all of that situated on next week. We normally have 5, we'll have 4. Try to centralize the locations and want to encourage citizens to come out to those meetings, but in the interim, you have all opportunities to reach out through the office at 208-7411. My cell phone, city cell, 509-4239. lmanz@citymobile.org. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm not running from the citizens of District 2. We're here to do what we can to be helpful. 98% of what you request, I have absolutely no authority over. 98% of it. I can instruct a city employee to do one thing: pick up one garbage, pick up any garbage, fix in the streets. I have one employee I can give direction to, sitting right here, in the red jacket with the pearls on. She's not fixing the street. She's not picking up garbage. She's wearing pearls. You can tell that. What I can do is be your strongest advocate to the departments that are responsible for those issues. And that's what all 7 of us do each and every day. And so please continue to let us know how we might be helpful. That concludes my announcements. Is there a motion? Any other announcements? Properly moved to second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.